Hell, Hello, everybody. Scott Golden here with the Halloween edition 1981 of the All Star Wrestling Series. We get about 15, 16 more of these before we move on to another series. Mid Atlantic Wrestling will be the series after that we start that's new. Also, there will be updates within the next little while, probably about 10 or 15 episodes to the Superstars of Wrestling series as well, as there's new stuff from 1994 up on the Peacock Network and a couple of other episodes I found that aren't up in our archive here. Tag Team Champions, Mr. Fuji and Mr. Saida with Captain Lou Albano defeating Angelo Gomez and Barry Hart when Fuji pins Hart with a Samoan drop. I don't necessarily understand the fascination with these two as tag team champions at the time. Obviously, there to give Martel and Gurria a break from being champions they need heels to deal with, but the punch kick, very basic style. Fuji is a guy who does have some power for his staunchy size. You know, kind of a deal across the ring there. Fuji trying to get as much of an aggressive stance as he possibly can. Then when we see Saito come in, Saito and Fuji both kind of wearing gold and purple, bluish purple pants, as it were, kind of looking at like a team, kind of there, back suplex by Fuji, and Fuji trying to get as much of a good run there as he can. Not exactly going to be, a match that leads there. I mean, you've got new tag team champions. Classy Pretty Blassie out next after Captain Lou Albano presents the tag team champions. Killer Khan is the main man there. That's the focal point, as it were, that way. Hard shots along the way, as it were, and Khan continuing to be the guy that put uh, Rick McGraw out, also the guy that did damage to Andre. Punch kick and the top rope knee drop from the top in that ring. I would not want to take that spot by any stretch of the imagination. We continue moving forward here. Greg Valentine with the Grand Wizard. So all three of the heel managers for the time period, late 81, early 82, have been featured on this particular program. Valentine up next here with the deal as it relates to moving forward. Johnny Ringo is the opponent of the day for Valentine. Not exactly a guy that's going to show him any real challenges. Not that anyone's expecting that with Valentine at the time. Valentine crinkles him up and sends him to the outside a couple times, sends him to the parquet floor. Punch kick. Valentine also drops the knee and the kind of the knee across the arm. Stays on Ringo and eventually wins with the figure four leg lock. Grand Wizard on the outside promises that Valentine has come back to the area to be the man to defeat Bob Backlund, wanting Backlund pretty intently. And that is the focus of the promo there. Valentine goes back in and sets the figure four a second time, almost as an insult to injury. King Kong Mosca up next with his brand of brutalized chaos, for lack of a better term. Angelo Mosca defeating Joe Cox, 423, backbreaker over the knee. Not being, focused on nearly as much as he normally would be. Probably because there are other individuals. Cox gets a couple of offensive maneuvers, nothing really to write home about. Maybe a drop kick here, elbow to the top of the head there, but Mosca is in control for the majority of his run here, about 4.5 minutes, just under, and the backbreaker gets a victory for Mosca. Going forward there, we then go to the former tag team champions Martel and Gurria as your, I guess you'd say, perpetual challengers for the tag team championship at the time. They're facing off against individuals who continue to be or are interested in being in a position of authority there. And Rick Martel, Tony Gurria, Ron Shore, Danny O'Hannon. 5:20, not necessarily sure this match needs almost 5.5 minutes. arm drags, arm bars, and the like, Martel arm ringers, and the like there. As is primarily the case, the heels do take over, cut the ring off on their adversaries. Though Hannon's been here before, Shaw has been in the position of being one of the um, executioners in the single and tag team ranks. Tony Garea and Martel do manage to roll the man up, and then we see I Heart Adrian as Adrian Adonis comes in 3 minutes just under 2:52 to be exact, managed by Classy Freddie Blassie. Adrian Adonis at this point still looks to be in reasonable shape, gets down into a collegiate style hold position, manages to hold on to his adversary, goes to the top rope and hits a slingshot style maneuver, bombs away type deal, and a back elbow. Eventually gets the sleeper hold, which is known as Goodnight Irene, and pins his man after he becomes unconscious. And Freddie Blassie, who is on Halloween, looking like a pumpkin, so to speak, in his garb, is impressed with his man here. We'll be back with more right after this.